Hello everyone, I'm Paul McGuire Grimes. Jake Gyllenhaal is well known for his film and theater work, but now he's entering the world of episodic television with the new limited series Presumed Innocent. The first 2 episodes are now streaming on Apple TV Plus, and I want to talk about it. This is Paul's trip to the movies. The new limited series comes from legendary television writer David E. Kelley, who is no stranger to a juicy legal story with shows like Ally McBeal, The Practice, and Boston Legal, just to name a few. He's now adapting Scott Turo's classic novel into 8 gripping episodes. Jake Gyllenhaal plays Chicago District Attorney Rusty Sabich, who's been having a sexual affair with his coworker Carolyn, who's played by Renat Reinsve. Now, Harrison Ford previously played the role in the film adaptation in 1990. Carolyn is found bound and murdered in her home, and all eyes fall on Rusty, who becomes a lead suspect in the case. Now, he proclaims his innocence, but all the evidence really points back to him, upending his career and his marriage to his wife Barbara, who's played by Ruth, Negga. The series also stars Peter Sarsgaard, Bill Camp, and Otzi Fogbenlay. Presumed Innocent has a really juicy story to it, and it's probably best if you don't watch the movie or even try to compare the 2 adaptations, given that they're made decades apart and are made for 2 different mediums of storytelling. This series opens with that kind of classic lawyer move, with Jake's character Rusty telling the jury that he has to prove guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. Creator David E. Kelley knows that he has to lure the audience in with that first episode, and he wastes no time in setting up all these key players and the mess that Rusty has found himself in. He finds himself on trial while kind of unofficially acting as his own lawyer to prove his innocence, and then Bill Camp is really ideal casting as Rusty's actual lawyer. He's this tenured and grizzled man who's been in the business so long that it's really worn on him. Now, I've seen 7 of the 8 episodes, as Apple TV has held that final episode away from critics. David E. Kelley knows how to keep this like the page turn that it stems from. This series is filled with flashbacks that really lead up to Carolyn's murder, how it may be connected to a previous case that she and Rusty worked on. There are plenty of hot and steamy sex scenes detailing that torrid love affair at play. Rusty's a high-profile Chicago DA, so the case makes the local headlines, drawing all sorts of media attention that then really has this effect on his wife and children. Ruth Negga gives a terrific performance as she really struggles with what all this means for the marriage moving forward. Jake Gyllenhaal brings his explosive intensity that he's known for into Rusty. I think it's a familiar role for him, but shows what we can expect from the character moving forward. He plays by his own rules, and part of the show revels in the steps that he then takes to prove his innocence, despite, I think, adding more evidence to the contrary. That being said, I think it's too easy for Rusty to be the killer, so the audience is then left to continue to piece together who really murdered Carolyn and why. Peter Sarsgaard plays another interesting piece of this puzzle as the prosecuting attorney trying Rusty. He always plays smarmy characters, so I don't trust him for one bit. David E. Kelley steers away from having too many red herrings or too many subplots in the name of drawing this on for 8 episodes. I think that he really stays focused on the murder and the toll that Rusty's affairs had on everyone around him. I still have no idea who the killer is, which means that David E. Kelley has done a great job at keeping the mystery alive without leading us too astray. Presumed Innocent isn't anything new, but it sits in that kind of strange, comfortable place like Law & Order or Dateline. It's a dark, steamy, and intriguing mystery, really leaving the audience scratching their head episode by episode as each bombshell drops. I'm giving Presumed Innocent 3.5 out of 5 ticket stubs. If you like my review today, click subscribe on my YouTube channel. I got to do some interviews for this, so check out my interviews with creator David E. Kelley. It was so great talking to him about making television, as well as actors O.T. Fagbenle and Nana Mensah. So check out those interviews. They were a ton of fun. I know you're going to enjoy them. And then follow me on social media at Paul's Movie Trip. Are you a fan of Jake Gyllenhaal? Would you have a favorite movie or performance? Are you excited about Presumed Innocent? Let me know in the comments at Paul's Movie Trip. And then go to my website, paulstriptothemovies.com, for even more reviews. Thank you so much for watching my review of Presumed Innocent. This is Paul's Trip to the Movies.